first or yellow, I guess Tiger will start putting down. But I really want to get, I blow down, says
All right, everyone, I'm going to call this meeting to order. Brian is going to be joining via Zoom. He had a meeting tonight. It's running a little late. So we'll start by approving and amending the meeting agenda.
Make a motion.
Craig, we just need to make one change.
Okay.
Item number 6, the fire marshal's report. Can we scratch that out? And in place of that, we'll put the resident troopers report.
All right, so you're amending. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Approve or amend the minutes from prior meeting?
Motion to approve.
Okay.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. I'll just make this the start off with the Jen report, the positive and uplifting news.
Hi, everyone. I'm Jen Crane. I am the chair of the events committee. We have an echo. And I'm here for your monthly infomercial. So our first event coming up, I'm going to promote for rec is Easter egg hunt. Everyone should note there's a time change this year. We are starting at noon and it will be taking place at Lawrence Field, and everyone is asked to gather at the pavilion. Then on Sunday, April 13th, will be our monthly swap. We're now swapping books, puzzles, and board games, and we will be meeting at the Johnson Room at the Pilgrim House. And then at the end of the month, April 27th, let's make art, and we will be meeting at State Line Pizza. And then you have seen road signs going up. They're the purple signs for the Mother's Day 5K. That is a pretty flat course. We're meet at the school and then run down
That's right.
West Bay down past the transfer station to the Mass Line, and then turn around and come back. So it's pretty short, it's pretty flat, easily for families to do together. We've had people inquiring about strollers and walkers as in walking. And yes, all of the above is possible. So I think that that's everything. And then May really starts with all of our fun events. So we thank everyone for coming out and gathering and attending and supporting the community. So
Thank you, Jen. Anybody else? Going once. Sold. All right. First Selectmen's report. And Paul's unmuting him.
I got you. Is that better?
Oh, yeah.
All right. Thank you, everyone, for all their input over the last month. This has been a big budget month, as we know. It's been having great feedback with all the committee chairs, all of the departments, and we've had 2 meetings now with the Board of Finance, most recently last week with our budget workshop. There were some requests made from the Board of Finance. There was some healthy discussion as to where we had made certain potential savings in our proposed budget, and then some investments on certain lines. I think overall, it was a healthy proposed budget with 2 changes that the chair would like to see and the members as well. So right now, as we proposed it, we were at a decrease from last year's budget of $15,704. The chair and the members of the Board of Finance would like the selectmen's salary line reinstated to the full amount as it was last year. So I will like to make a motion and have support of the Board of Selectmen so we can represent this amended budget on Wednesday night at the Board of Finance meeting. So if we're at 15,704 as a reduction now, we'll reinstate the 19,500 in the selectman salary line. That would leave us in the positive 3,796. Also in conversation with the BOF, there was a thought that the contingency line was too duplicative, and we also have some miscellaneous expenses. So I would like to remove the $5,000 out of that contingency line, which would then leave us at the end of the day with a $1,204 negative going into the next fiscal year. So if we can make that motion, reinstate the salary line for the selectmen, and then eliminate the $5,000 contingency line.
Move to make that motion.
Second?
Second.
Just discussion, I hear rumblings. This is for us to approve to amend our budget to give to the Board of Finance next on Wednesday night.
Yep.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
All right, thank you. Just to recap, some of you may have saw a group of us walking down Railroad Street this past Friday. Special thanks to the DOT commissioner who took time out of his busy schedule. He was traveling down in DC and all throughout Connecticut, but was gracious enough to accept my invite to come up and get his eyes literally on Railroad Street and Route 7. For the past 20, 25 years, that road has been pretty neglected. Railroad Street is the intersection there that goes into Main Street and 44 right in the center of town. Railroad, unfortunately, was not the recipient of the streetscape projects that were completed about 20 years ago. So if you look at Route 44, you've got the granite curbing, the cobblestone, the green traffic masks that you see, which need to be repainted. All of that was done in concert with a number of state agencies. And my plea to the DOT commissioner, which he fully understood and he told us that he offers his full support on partnership and try to get some state and federal funding. The sidewalks obviously are very dated. There's no ADA consideration with the safety of that crosswalk that goes from Industry to Old School Deli. They assured us in the very near immediate future that sidewalk is going to be carved out right there where the crosswalk is. So there can be a gradual access onto the road with full LED lighting. We also talked about the train crossing up on Ashley Falls Road by the old Igloo, the hair salon. So we're going to be having a meeting with the railroad to talk about what they can offer as far as that logistical help goes. And we also talked about the potential of a train platform down across from the municipal parking lot. So it was a broad discussion. There was a lot of things covered. Senator Steve Harding also came up to join us. And we hope to see some real good benefit from that in the near future. And as a reminder, our townwide Earth Day cleanup is April 26th. That's a Saturday. It's going to be from 12:30 p.m. to 4 p.m. with a rain date of Sunday, April 27th. We'll all meet at the town hall, just like we did last year. Gloves, high-vis vests, and bags will be given out at no charge. So we hope to see a good turnout like we did last year. Kudos to Mike Simmons and our great town crew was working with Tom Zetterstrom and some arborists to take care of some much needed pruning around town. So Mike and the team are going to be in the process of cleaning all of that up. Brian Carlson offered his duties to get all of our town trees mulched as he's done in years past. So we're great to see the teamwork there. All right. And that's all I had.
All
We'll
right.
go.
Thank you.
Yep.
What's that?
Are you going to go into the reports?
Yeah, I can go into the reports if you.
Okay, go ahead.
Got the resident troopers report for this month. His total, this is the lowest I've ever seen in the town of North Canaan. The resident trooper alone was 18 and Troop B was 71 calls of service for the town of North Canaan. It's never seen it in a single or double digits, not triple digits for Troop B. Any highlights here? One commercial motor vehicle stop, 2 parking violations, 7 traffic stops, 2 traffic services are the highlights. Not
And
including,
he's got a big one, Craig, there at the bottom. He's been focusing on overweight trucks on Lower Road. So
Yeah.
they actually, with the driver actually had the scale sheet in his truck that stated the immediate overweight charge. So that was a $4,000, almost $4,500 infraction that he issued.
so I've seen him all over. I know he's been at the school, so he's definitely out and about, which is good to see. Next, the building inspector's report. March was busy with plan reviews and multiple searches, 22 permits for $7,440. Zoning enforcement. See telephone calls and in-person visits from applicants have remained steady this month. Numerous calls regarding possible uses for property by prospective buyers, permits issued, garage at 16 Raymond Avenue, generator pad 6 East Main Street for community health and wellness, storage building at 210B East Canaan Road. Other activities, received 2 complaints about mining operation outside of regulated hours. I was contacted by the operator prior to complaints being filed. Letter sent to the operator and 2 complainants explaining actions by the zoning office, 3 field site visits for compliance, filed the required quarterly report to the state of Connecticut. Respectfully submitted, George Martin. Social services. Application for energy assistance, CAAWC, 5 applications for SNAP benefits, 3, including Husky healthcare benefits or Access Health. Follow up with people who are waiting on housing lists for Station Place, Wangum Village, interview placement. Stop and Shop gift cards, 4 single mothers, 3 elderly adults. Food vouchers, 3. ETCF, monitor balances, funds for Berkshire Taconic Foundation, Jane Lloyd Fund recipients undergoing cancer treatment awarded funds, $5,000 grant for each recipient, continuously monitoring. Jane Lloyd for 7 recipients, March secured housing, mortgage rental costs paid, medication costs paid, electric bills paid, past due bills, and collection paid, car repairs. SAGE program, with single mother with child referral, family violence and dysfunction, mental health, met with a single mother to follow up with other resources, SNAP healthcare benefits, energy assistance and Eversource program, accessing their financial needs, seeking relief from the past and present bills, eligibility for New Start program, hardship relief program, matching program, utilizing the Eversource portal, entering information, multiple phone calls for guidance and assistance regarding housing issues, program or legal aid information, 6 applications for handicapped equipped subsidized housing, assisting a son with his elderly wheelchair-bound father, utilizing grant and donation funds for food vouchers, Stop and Shop gift cards to assist low-income residents after using Fishes and Loaves to provide for food for the entire month. Primary single mothers and our elderly. Neighbor to Neighbor program, 3 applicants approved, rent, security deposit, car repairs. As probably most of you saw, they received a $5,000 grant from the United Way, and renters rebate program starts April 1st, 2025. So she does just about everything for all those in need. Second Selectmen's report, just looking to the future. I see Christians in the room. Plan of conservation and development is about 2.5 years from being at the end of its 10 years. So we should at some point put a committee together and review that and see if that's still the direction, see what we've accomplished, what's changed with our plans. So that's something we'll have to look into in the future, next few months, maybe after we're through with the budget. Maybe start talking about getting a committee together for that. One of the complaints with the sidewalks that I've heard multiple times this month, and maybe because the snow is melting, is people not curbing their dogs. So if we could get back on that, I guess it's really bad. I haven't had a chance to go out and walk, but it's pretty bad. Had a lot of compliments on keeping a near zero budget increase on our line items for the year, and a lot of thanks to all those that are making that happen. A reminder of the business incentives. Again, we passed that last year and no one's utilized that yet, and it's hard costs. So it's building a building, adding on to your building, any of that is assessed on taxes $10,000 or more, $10,000 more to your current or any new building or whatever, with the 20, 40, 60, 80% over the 4 years tax incentive program. So just keep that in the back of your head. I was going to ask Brian for an update if we've heard anything from Kurt Mayland on the solar at the transfer station.
Yeah, we've Kurt and I have connected twice over the last 3 weeks. He was just letting us know that, with some of the tariffs that are going on with the federal administration, there was even more incentive, which is beneficial to us for American solar panels. And he's putting together an RFP right now in draft form, and we should be hearing within the next 2 weeks. He'd like to come in, either we can have a special meeting, or depending how much time he needs during one of our regular meetings, he'd like to present that draft RFP for us to bless off on and get that out there. But he said it's everything that he's been able to put together with the feasibility of the project, working with John Bunce, also the adjacent property owner, that it's going to be highly beneficial from a financial standpoint for the town to still go through with this, even with running 3-phase, a significant amount of linear feet from the corner of West Main all the way down West Main to the transfer station. So he's getting all that data together. There was some delay, again, just with the tariffs, didn't know how that was going to pan out, but he said it is looking to be put in the developer's favor. So we're anxious to see what that draft looks like.
Excellent. And then one other thing, and maybe you could talk to the attorney about this. I know the big reason we didn't do anything with blight was first off, the huge posting that would have to go into the paper if there was a way we could get around that. And then the other was putting someone in charge of enforcing blight, because right now we're powerless against messy yard. Unless there's a hazard to people or beings, there's really nothing you can do if people just have a trashy, horrible place. One that lowers your property value, this or that. And nothing was held to like, there was unregistered motor vehicles, but nothing was like your lawn's got to be 2 inches high or this and that. It was broken windows, all that kind of stuff, garbage in the yard and all that. And without a blight ordinance, we can't enforce any of that. So I know some people don't want people telling them what to do with their property, but the neighbors next door might complain if there's garbage. I've had calls in the past of people that have garbage out in the yard, and then they have all their mice when it gets cold out and that kind of stuff. So it's one of those things that, again, I know there's the big burden of the paper, but if there was some way electronically or something that we could notify so that we could vote that and find someone to enforce it, again, maybe fine incentive like getting a percentage of the fines in order to enforce or something like that. So it doesn't cost us money to hire someone to do that. So it's one of those things. And that brings me to the last thing. I didn't have a chance to look, but some people were, I haven't been by in a while, but apparently the Ruggles Landing thing, it looks really messy. And I don't know if is that, Christian, is that, who would I contact to, or could we? Okay, so just if we could have a date on that for maybe not next month, the month after, because of the budget that's going on, just where that stands with everything. That's it from me. Jesse.
Good evening. I had attended a talk hosted by the Sharon Land Trust. The talk was given by North Canaan's Tom Zetterstrom. He went on about the about invasive plants and how to treat and keep costs down for roadside management and municipalities, parks and walkways, trails and such forth. You know, we only have like a $20,000 budget, so some of these practices that he's applying could be brought into the community, and we could keep that tree cost down a little bit more by nipping this earlier, because the beginning stages of these invasives, which kill a lot of these trees, are relatively cheap to do in the beginning stages. I know Christian has donated a lot of his time as well as Tom as well, but maybe we put a little money into this, you know, with the town crew as well. And you know, that Mike Simmons has done a lot of spraying and stuff like that as well, and worked along with them.
I was going to say he's gone to a couple of classes.
Oh, yeah.
With those guys too in Falls Village. And
It's just,
whatnot.
it's a lot, so we need to maybe stay ahead of it and whatnot. North Canaan will be celebrating its 35th Arbor Day this April 25th at 2 p.m. The tree this year was paid for by a grant from the Canaan Foundation. The tree of choice is hopefully I don't mess it up too bad, a chickapin oak. And Tom is very excited about this tree this year. If you know Tom, you'll know why. So it is going to be placed at the loop, the little loop cul-de-sac end here at the end of the elementary school. And he's really excited about that. We're going to help him out with some bedding. Mike is going to help get the tree down that's in there right now, because it's fallen on a car once and it's in rough shape. So that's getting demolished, and we're going to do a little bedding for him and whatnot. And we're also going to start breaking ground on some of the playgrounds that are going in at the elementary school right around the same time, being the machine will already be there. So that's my report, and thank you for your time.
All right. And just to go back to positive, and don't forget UConn won yesterday, and that's a huge thing. So public comment and podium, please, for the camera. Okay.
You've already touched on this, but Joan Baker, I'm born and raised in Canaan. Ronnie and I have owned 3 houses in Green Acres over the past 55 years. And the values on our houses are really not going anywhere compared to every other town. And I'd like to see the town bring in the blight. Ron has offered to do it for free to go around.
Nice. Okay.
But the biggest thing is getting rid of the motor vehicles. I mean, we can't tell somebody how to have their property. We've lived across the Met for about 4 years. It's getting cleaned up now.
The storm damage.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it is getting better. We're working on it. But as far as trailers, unregistered motor vehicles that need to either be paying taxes or be registered or be gone. We had cows living on a half or quarter acre in Green Acres. Finally got rid of those. My big thing is that, like I said, when I look at other pieces of property and see the value increase. I just want to know, what can we do for Canaan to get it to be like other towns? We have a great group of people in our Chamber of Commerce that are trying, as hard as they can to get people come in. And it's sad to drive through the town and not see anybody here supporting all the restaurants that we have on Main Street and up across from Stop and Shop and, past store owner. You know how that feels to these people, to all of a sudden you drive through again and you see they're gone because they can't afford the rent. People in town are not supporting them. So how do we move forward and make Canaan successful? Thank you.
Thank you.
I have a question. We do or do not have a like?
We have a written one, but in order for us to enforce it or to approve it, it has to be voted on at a town meeting. And in order for us to have a town meeting about it, it has to be totally posted in the paper, word for word, and it's a very long document, and they charge you per letter when you, or per word when you put it in the paper, so it was at a huge, it's like an 8-page document, I believe, right, Christian?
Yeah, I might as well go to public comment since you mentioned my name so much and I got a lot to add to all this. On the legal notice, the total is about $3,500. And that's because there's so many pages to it. And it's not just the 8 pages that make up both the blight ordinance and the unregistered motor vehicle ordinance, which are separate ordinances. There's 2 ordinances there. All the statutes that have to be cited to be included in that ordinance. So that's an expense that's rough for a town like us. And it's something that many towns like us, through CBI and others, the little lobbying organizations for small towns, have asked the legislature to change to have electronic reporting, so we could just put it on the website, and then people that would be a public notice. But still, in Connecticut, per statute, you have to post it in the paper. So that's the reason for that. To build off of your comment and what your comment was about the town planning, conservation, development, we have a planning and zoning commission in Canaan, and our planning and zoning commission has always been more focused on zoning than planning. And what some towns have done, they've created a separate planning commission, and that commission is advisory, it's not regulatory. And that commission would be charged with writing the town plan of conservation and development, working with an economic development committee, which I don't know where that stands right now, but that's something to look into as well. These ordinances that revolve around increasing the quality of life in the town. And also something else I'd like to mention, which I mentioned at the Board of Finance meeting to Brian Oler, is creating a written vegetation management plan. Our tree budget has gone up considerably over the years because of the emerald ash borer killing the ash trees. Also because we have a lot of mature trees on the town right of way that are with bad form. And we have a lot of smaller trees that, thanks to the town crew, have been relatively well managed, but that could be more aggressive as well, so that way we don't let them become big trees. So there's a lot of room for improvement here. I think we could all work together to make that happen. And it sounds like tonight that we're all willing to do that. So I think if we could work together after the budget season to make these things come together, that would be really great.
Perfect. And I was going to send you and Tom an email this month just to ask where you think we stand with knotweed and all that, because I know my neighborhood is the mecca of Canaan. So
yeah, so with knotweed in Canaan, it's on the town right of ways, it's very well managed. But we have a looming problem coming in from Norfolk. So through my own company, I've met with the Norfolk Conservation Commission about mapping all their knotweed sites and scheduling treatment. We have a serious problem with a knotweed patch on Mountain Road in Norfolk that is trailing into the Blackberry River. And almost all the farms in Canaan that are on the Blackberry River have knotweed. So that's a more serious issue. And normally town budgeting isn't there for that. That's usually a federal NRCS grant, and that program has been severely impacted with what's going on. Hopefully that will change. This NRCS is Natural Resource Conservation Service. It's part of the U.S. Department of Agriculture. It's a domestic program. It's not a foreign program in any way. So hopefully that will get funded, and then we could go for grants on that. The issues on Lawrence or Locust Hill, as you know, there's a couple of private property owners that don't want to manage, not including you, you've managed. But there's a handful up there that don't want to manage, so private management of knotweed would be a really great thing.
Yeah,
for
they don't want to
people
manage with
do.
chemicals. It's,
Right,
uh,
and that's really the only way to go with knotweed, unfortunately. So. No.
I have a question. Yeah, sure. You said $3,500, so what's $3,500 for the town to increase our property values for everybody that lives in this town?
That's what I said when I was a selectman. And you know, I think that that could be part of the budget consideration too. We do have the $25,000 legal line, maybe right after, in July 1st. I know we're over this year, but right after July 1st or some other way, we could get this going faster.
Okay,
I agree.
thank you, Christian.
Yeah, you're welcome. Thank you.
Anyone else? Motion to adjourn.
Second.
All those in favor? Aye.
All right.
All right, thank you. We'll see whoever at the Board of Finance meeting on Wednesday night.